Back with you here in Extra Mile Arena as we take a look at some of the first half stats, and what jumps off the page immediately is the three-point differential.
Three-point differential. You can look at the free throws. I mean, the whole thing, all the shooting.
Yeah.
Boise State is so much better, and they're out rebounding, and because they're out rebounding, they're getting fast break points on the other end of the floor.
And Richie, we've talked about this till we're both blue in the face. These two teams, of course, best in the Mountain West, Utah State in offense, best in the Mountain West in defense is Degenhardt. What a pirouette as he goes right to the basket. And it's the Broncos defense that is winning the hour of the day. They have held their opponents to less than 60 points 8 times this year, and their defense is ranked top 15 in the country. That was from Ken Pong. And look at this, more defense by the Broncos. As Shaver gets a steal. So not a good start for Utah State coming out of the break. Well, they do get a steal there as a wild drive to the basket. Raked away and stolen. Taylor Funk's got it.
This Boise State's defense is doing a number on Utah State. Utah State has to find a way to push through this aggressive defense. They're not really turning the ball over much, but they're so much more physical. Oh my, the physicality.
And did you see that pass from Schulden?
Yeah, I did. He's impressive. He's got great instincts. He understands the game.
Leads the team in assists at 4.4 a game, and that was a nice one right there. Here's that post up by Degenhardt. Oh, Rice is wide open. Pump fake. Step back jack, and he rattles it in. Max Rice making his daddy proud. Shoga wants a screen. Will he use it? No. He'll dance. He'll move. He'll spin. He'll fire for Jones. Hesitates. Goes to the basket. Back out for Shoga. Wide open three. Back rim no good. And if Utah State can't make that, they are not going to get back in this game. Here's a post up, and Jones tried to jump it. And here is a rim rocker by Najee Smith. Changed his number, but it doesn't matter. The results are still the same. Funk to Jones, pump fakes. Little floater, can't get it to go. They just cannot find the bottom of the basket.
I tell you, Utah State's getting really good looks. They're getting outside threes. Right there by Ryland Jones, that's an uncharacteristic miss from that spot.
And look at the ball movement by Boise State. As Shaver fires, can't get it to go, but great ball movement. And Richie, what about the early shoot-around for Utah State? We came in here to watch them shoot at 9 a.m. and it was talked about that them staying around here for the long shootout was determinant, and they're undefeated when they do that, but it's not happening right now. And a great defensive play. Excellent defensive play. The crowd is not going to like it, but he absolutely guessed right. An excellent charge taken to the chest. Look at this.
Look at Ryland Jones. Man, yeah, were his feet down? No. But was there physical contact into his chest? Yes. And I hope the young man is okay.
And he looks like he may have blood on his lips.
Well, let's let the athletic trainers work with this.
And Richie, these plays are so hard to judge in real time. And we have refs here that have been to the Final Four, but those blocks and those charges are some of the hardest ones to call. You did mention he did not have his feet set, but he did appear to guess right. And he paid for it right now as they're attending to him on the ground. Ryland Jones, 6 points, 2 rebounds, but his impact for Utah State is bar none, even though it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And
well, let's just hope this young man is okay, Ryland Jones, and the official giving Leon Rice an explanation. But this Ryland Jones young man, he's one of my favorite players out here in the West.
Transfer from the other Utah, played for the Utes. After his sophomore season, he was the 4th player in Utah history, recorded a triple-double his freshman year, and right now he is in some serious pain on the ground. Saw that blood to his jaw.
Well, you know, while this is going on, as the athletic trainers tend to this, you know, I like what we're doing here. Both teams huddling up with their squad. I think Boise State, you see Leon Rice talking to Dave Hall, the official, trying to get a little bit more explanation on that play. But, you know, you have to be just prepared. I mean, at this point in time, this is an opportunity for both teams to regroup, especially for Utah State. They're down big against this hot Boise State team whose defense right now is nothing short of incredible. I mean, the Broncos' defense is hard-nosed, it's tough, it's physical, and it's bothering Utah State. Utah State has to find ways to score against this pressure defense, this physical defense that Boise State's employing, whether that's having some you know, different ways to score down inside the paint, having some pressure releases to try to get the ball more closer to the basket. They're getting great looks. They're not just dropping. They have to find other ways to score as a result.
And Boise State has dominated this matchup as of late. They've won the last 4 straight games against Utah State, and in their building they are impeccable. And Utah State, you know, we thought about what was Odom going to say to his team at halftime, and in a serious change of events, it's the Broncos who came out with their foot on the pedal when they're already up by 20. So you don't want to see that if you're Utah State.
You want to strike first at the beginning of every half because it kind of sets the tone for the next several minutes. And Boise State sure has won that battle. And in both halves, they came out firing in the beginning of the game. They came out firing here at the start of the second half. And now with the 20-point lead, Boise State has to be able to play with that lead. They have to continue that lead. Utah State, I don't think they've been in a position like this their entire season. They only have 2 losses.
Yep.
Utah State's 13-2. Combined 6 points between those 2 losses. This is uncharted territory for the Aggies this season.
And in every matchup that they have played in their history against Boise State, they have only lost by double digits 1 time. So this is definitely not a characteristic game of this rivalry, and
this is good news right here.
Yeah, Jones is going to be.
I love with this player, the sacrifices he makes for his team, night in and night out, and he's done it for his entire career. His dad played at Utah for a couple of years back in the mid-90s. His mother was a swimmer at Utah. Ryland was a player at Utah for a pair of years, even had a triple-double in one game against Mississippi Valley State, and now transferred to Utah State a year ago and has done a terrific job for Ryland Jones. And
Jones motioned to his chest that he's having some trouble breathing, just trying to catch his breath. He's just trying to get his wits about him. Didn't get hit in the head.
And prayers up for this young man. Thoughts and prayers. All focus and attention on this young man, making sure he's okay before play resumes.
And he'll finally get up to his feet. Seems a little bit dazed and favoring one of his legs. But he's able to walk off the floor.
That's a great sign.
Ryland Jones has played in 12 games of the 16, including this one for Utah State. Started 9 of them, 19.9 minutes a game. Averages just 4 points, but 3 assists. But as we mentioned multiple times, Richie, his impact goes way beyond the stat sheet. And head coaches love guys like that, that will get in the mud and get on the floor, take charges, sacrifice their body. So hopefully he's able to be good going forward. Meanwhile, Utah State's got a lot of work to do. They are down by 20. They've got to make something happen at some point. It's going to be Bairstow to the rim. Those one-on-one scores.
That looked a little too easy, you know. So Utah State needs a spark.
By the way, sometimes those injury timeouts can be a spark for the other team. It can slow down the team that's attacking. As speaking of attacking, there goes Degenhart to the basket. He can't score. And the ball is knocked out, recovered by Rice. And they'll reset the offense. Good active hands by the Broncos. Whiting's got it now. Dancing, goes right to the basket and flips layup up, no good. The rebound tapped back, and Rice, can he control it in the sideline? Yes, he can.
Second offensive rebound on this possession. We talk so much about Utah State's ball movement, and I've been really impressed with the way the Broncos of Boise State has done that in this game.
Degenhardt double team, out to Rice. Rice pump fakes, and a tough three by Rice. That's not a great shot, but Utah State will have it. Here's Hamoda now. Hamoda's been very, very quiet. Has not scored. He's going to try to score here, doing it himself. A lot of time in the key, and the bank shot is long. Chase Whiting now will run the point guard. He'll freeze. He'll fire to Najee Smith. Smith turns, and he changes mind in midair, and he gets it to Degenhardt, who flips it up and in over his head.
Was that a pass?
It'll go down as one. If you ask him, he'll say, I meant to do that.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, no, and here's the steal. Just a fumbling of the basketball. Unforced error. Utah State feeding into the hands of the Broncos.
Well, I like what we got here. Look at the footwork, but you know what? I'm not going to shoot it. I'll just pass down to Degenhardt, who's manning the paint down inside.
Well, coming in, you thought this game was going to be a little bit more competitive than it's actually turned out to be. Utah State has only had the lead for about as much time as it takes to sneeze a couple times, 18 seconds. Boise State has dominated time of possession. They have out-rebounded their opponent 28-18, and they have outshot their opponent. Richie, sometimes it comes down to just what team is going to make more shots at a more efficient level, and that's what is happening right now. We can dress it up however we want to, but Boise State's making more than the other team is.
Got a better question for you. It takes you 18 seconds to sneeze?
Well, I was going to say sneeze once, but I had to say sneeze twice.
Okay, it takes you 9 seconds to sneeze.
Hey, man, I got allergies.
Yeah, all right.
You know, sometimes those sneezes, they just kind of linger around. And
one of those guys. All right.
It takes a while to get out.
Sneezes over and over. Yeah, I got you.
Boise State trying to win back-to-back Mountain West championships. They're doing a good job here defending one of the best teams in the league, as Ashworth, who has been cold all day today.
Gosh, I hate that for him. He's 0 for 4 from the field. He had one point. Yeah, he's a 17-point game player.
Here's Boise State with the attacking Abo. Abo doing it himself. Oh, what a move. Fade away, can't get it to go. Tip. They're out hustling Utah State. They're just simply out hustling Utah State. Another offensive rebound. Oh, Whiting for Rice. A lot of dribbling by Rice. Gets a shot he wants. Oh, what an okey-doke by Max Rice. Straight out of Cold Stone, just scooping it in.
Coach's son has all the moves.
His brother kid also plays for the team.
Red shirt this year. Yeah. Coach Leon Rice says he can still take it to him.
And if this game keeps going the way it's going, we might see the younger brother in the game as well. 6-0 run for Boise State, and no one wants the rebound. And now it falls in Utah State's hands. What can Utah State do to generate some offense here? It's going to be Funk who fires a long 30-footer, and that is all.
I think in the first half, they were missing shots. They were just missing. Now here in the second half, it seems like they have zero confidence while they attempt the shots. And, of course, they're missing again. They seem all out of sorts. It's just one of those nights.
Yep. It just may be the perfect storm of the Broncos playing the perfect defense and Utah State just playing the worst offense.
That's what it appears to be.
Yep. It happens as Abo goes a lot of time in the key. Does have 1 foot outside the key. Settles for a fadeaway jumper. That's no good. And here is Akin back into the game. Oh, a great pass to Akin. Hamoda created that one.
Yeah, officials. What the crowd's reacting to right now is just the energy and frustration from Dan Akin. We saw frustration from him in the first half as well. He's showing some of it again. And he's trying to, he needs to channel that energy onto both ends of the floor. just continuing to try to help his team chip away at this point in time.
And a bad play by Abo. He just simply lost the ball.
We called this earlier, the scooper, the okadoke. Leon Rice's son, Max Rice, in his senior year, the up and under. You know, it's one of those backyard shots.
Yeah, you can tell a lot of these guys spend time watching and one mixtapes on YouTube. Abo picks up his 4th foul on the loose ball foul after he lost it. Insult to injury.
I mean, the basketball is being sideline inbound in three-quarter court. And Boise State is up in them, denying the pass, trying to frustrate and make it as difficult as possible. You want to guard other players the way you hate to be guarded.
And
nice Milner.
Ashworth just got blocked at the rim. They get the rebound. Shulga for Funk.
There you go.
Trying to get out of the Funk.
There you go. Hey.
Utah State is in.
Funk is top 5 in the Mountain West in three-point percentage. Yep. Only had 3 points at the half, though. But that dude's got some range. I mean, he can hit from the logo there in their home arena at Utah State.
And there's a double. And losing the ball is Smith. Here's Whiting from basket. What a pass. And the finish by Lucas Milner. And Boise State's trying to get the party started early. Winter break is ending, and they're trying to give their students something to celebrate.
It's 2 in a row for Funk.
And Funk knocks another one down.
All right, Utah State not out of this. Long way to go, but they finally found somebody with a hot hand.
That's his 3rd triple of the game. Trying to do it himself is Najee Smith. Turns. No good. Here's a rebound, Milner. Fires out for Whiting. Shuffled his feet a little bit, no call. And Jace Whiting, the son of 2 former players.
7 offensive rebounds for Boise State are getting them second chance threes. And they're backbreakers for Utah State.
And Boise State's got it again. Shaver behind the back. Oh, that's a lot of sauce, but he can't finish. Here's Shulga, patiently moving. He's cut off. Here's Idlerock, unfakes a 3. Shulga wide open. And they finally get a 3-pointer to go.
You see here, it's seeing some signs of life now. That's 4 possessions. 3 of them, they've made 3-point shots.
But here's the problem, Richie.
Yep.
It's 63-45 with 10 minutes and 14 seconds to go.
I mean, you're right.
Running out of time here.
Well, got to tighten up their defense a little bit.
Back in a few, Utah State trying to crawl their way back into this game. 63-45 here as Utah State shot 2 of 13 in the first half, but they are shooting the ball much better in the second half. They've knocked down 3 of 5, and Funk has been the orchestrator of the stroke from beyond the arc in the second half, and they've got to find it somewhere, and he's doing a good job in the second half.
How well they move the basketball in Utah State, and it's a work of art. It looks beautiful when they're knocking down the outside shots. Most of this game, they've done a really good job of moving the ball. They're getting the open looks. They're just not falling, so we don't have a whole lot of replays to show you. But when they knock down those open looks, man, it is a work of art on the basketball court for Ryan Odom and his squad. Hey, every dog has its day.
And if you're Utah State, the time to get back into this game is right now. Time is not on their side. 20-point deficits are not as easy to come and cover for, especially if you give up wide open dunks to Kobe Young or young Kobe. I don't know which one he is.
What a beautiful ATO after timeout play.
Here is Ashworth. Oh, that's a great pass to Idlerock. He chooses to decline the 3. Great extra pass. Here's Ashworth. Can he get going? Yes, he can. And that may be the start of something for Ashworth. And Richie, you and I know this. It only takes 1 for a shooter like him. Watch out.
Correct. 3-point shot being the great equalizer. If you can get Ashworth hot and you can continue to get Funk knocking down some shots and some others, things are going to be okay. Utah State, they got to tighten up their defense. Got to be a little bit more physical. Utah State, or Boise State, seems a little too easy for them scoring around the basket and getting offensive rebounds.
3 in the corner by Kobe Young, no good. But good active defense by Utah State, scrambling to the basketball. You can tell they wanted a steal right there on that defensive possession. Didn't get it, but but they'll have the basketball. Down 65-48. There's a nice pass. Down low to Dorius, who finishes.
Oh, there is a heartbeat. Utah State.
But it exists. 65-50. 8:55 to go in the game. They've made 3 of their last 3 field goals from the floor. And we also know, Richie, that sometimes if you start heating up offensively, it can fuel your defense. Makes you feel a little bit psychologically better. And here they go again. This may be trouble. And it's going to be a holding foul, or will it be an off-ball foul? Ashworth was attacking. Shaver picks up foul number 4. So we'll take a short break here. Shaver's got 4 fouls. Utah State on a bit of a run here as they try and maintain their heartbeat here at Extra Mile Arena. See if they can cut into this deficit and take a look at some foul issues for Abo and Shaver, both with 4. But Richie, it hasn't really hurt them. And Boise State is winning despite 2 of their best players in foul trouble, and winning convincingly.
Yeah, those 2 guys have looks like 14 points combined, and Boise State is just dominating the boards. Okay, 10 plus on the rebounds. They have 7 offensive rebounds. You know what that's led to? 7 offensive boards have led to 11 second chance points, and some of those are 3-point shots. You get the offensive rebound, the defense isn't set, and you throw it out, kick it out to an open teammate along the perimeter, waiting for the 3-point shot at the top of the key.
And it's going to be out of bounds. Hamoda just couldn't corral it, and that could be a big missed opportunity there for Utah State. They need all they can get. They'd have made that one, would have made a 13-point game. Would have been interesting. So let's see if they can get a stop here on the Broncos. Haven't done it all night. Rice to come get it. Pounded by Heidelrock. And good defense by Utah State here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Smith looking for a post, forces to Degenhardt, and Degenhardt is swatted, but he gets it right back.
It's about extra efforts, and Degenhardt has been terrific.
He is on his way to a double-double.
19 points, but you know he got blocked. But that second effort, he got the shot. He didn't give up on the play. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 efforts.
Another turnover by Utah State.
Timeout on the floor.
I love the hustle, the tenacity, imposing his will as Tyson Degenhardt gets a shot blocked, goes right back up with it, doesn't give up in a play. It's all Boise State tonight.
Utah State threw a little bit of a punch there, but Boise State seems to have them at arm's length. Take a look at some of the scores around the Mountain West as see Nevada there against San Jose State. Fresno State losing to Colorado State. These are all blowouts except for the San Diego State-Wyoming game. And then you've got UNLV at number 21, New Mexico, later tonight. And Wyoming, as you've mentioned, Richie, what's going on with them? They were picked to finish. What were they picked to finish? Second.
They're 0-3 right now in the Mountain West. Which is the strength of the league. Really impressed with what Steve Alford's doing in Nevada, though. They're 14-3 now. They're undefeated in first place in the Mountain West. Steve Alford has done a terrific job of getting that program back where they were just a few years ago. And that's really been the story of the year, I think, in the Mountain West so far.
Ashworth harassing Jace Whiting, trying to get a foul, or trying to get a steal, and takes a foul instead. That's his second. Broncos will take it out of bounds, and Whiting will battle with Ashworth all over again. Whiting. Good defense in the corner. They got to do something with this. Shot clock at 10. Back in the corner. A lot of traffic in the corner. Now it's for Degenhardt. Oh, wide open, but it's smacked out of there. A great recovery blocked by Dorius. And here comes Utah State the other way. Tripping and falling is Hamoda. Trying to recover. Ashworth turning the corner. Great pass to Dorius. Up fakes twice and forces way in. And good defense by Boise State. They're just rushing everything. Not in character as Utah State.
Remember what the great John Wooden used to say?
Yeah.
Be quick, but not in a hurry. Well, right now, they're rushing because they're down big with under 7 to go.
Degenhardt's got it again. Working on a double-double, is 1 rebound away. Driving is Rice. Now pulls it back out for Whiting. Oh, Whiting just up on his feet. Takes off the basket. Dangerous pass, and it's blocked. Wild sequence. Here's an outlet. Here's Funk going to the rim. And a touchdown on the other end as he slams it down. As the Hail Mary pass was thrown down for an easy score. Great awareness by Utah State getting it down to the runner.
What was the old quote by Shaq? Don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk. How about Taylor Funk flushing it home? You don't like that one? You don't remember that? You're too young. You're too young.
No, I was
too young.
I've been watching this team play a few times, and I was trying not to use the cliche "fake the funk." Because the announcers have warned that very thing.
On a nasty dunk, though.
Well, oh, here is Whiting, fires from way out of there and knocks it down from Boise International Airport. Hamoda driving to silence the crowd. He does, but not in the made basket. And how far away was this three-pointer?
He's a freshman. He's a freshman. The story goes, out of high school, he went on a 2-year mission to Finland. And only 1 day per week did he have an opportunity where he could go find a basketball court, go find a blacktop to go get some shots up. You know, finding that blacktop in Finland for 2 years may have contributed to these deep three-point shots he's shooting.
Yeah, his mother, Amber, was just hired as a new coach of BYU women's basketball. Parents, of course, both played at BYU, and they met each other in high school as there's a steal as Utah State's going the other way. It's idle rock to the rim, and he scores. But, you know, Jace Whiting is a guy with a boatload of potential. He's got an entire basketball family tree sitting in his house. And his sister, his younger sister, a great high school player, she's going to go play for his mother at BYU.
She originally committed to Oregon. She decommitted when her mother got the job at BYU. Unfortunately, she tore her ACL this year. And my understanding now, from what I understand, she's already enrolled at BYU as an early high school graduate. I hope I'm right on that. Good source, that's what they told me.
Here's Degenhart in another post move, and this time Funk gets the better of that one. Utah State has made 5 of their last 7 shots, but they can't seem to crawl their way back into the game as Rice wants to talk things over. With 4:54 in the game, Boise State leading this 70-54, and we'll keep it right here as
so Coach Leon Rice burns this timeout.
Yep. Why did he do that?
Well, he wants to talk to his team about finishing this game. And Utah State is starting to make a little bit of a run, right? It's been 15-20 for the last several minutes, but he doesn't want to. Utah State's the kind of team that can get hot real quick. So he just wants to give them reminders. As you get physically tired, you get mentally tired. He wants to make sure his players are fully aware of all the details that they need to discuss to keep Utah State at bay.
And by the way, look at that schedule. They've got 2 games on the road coming up. The game against UNLV, that's no easy task. And even though Wyoming has been slow, they got to go play at Wyoming. That's not going to be easy either. So this is an important win for Boise State to get and sort of get back on the right path. They're 1-1 in conference. Arguably should have been 2-0. Dropped a bad game versus the aforementioned Nevada. Shavers back in with 4 fouls.
Nevada's pretty good now.
Yeah, they are. Nice turnaround. What hang time on that jumper by Najee Smith. Seemed like he was up there forever. Excellent shot clock awareness to get the shot up before the shot clock expired. Pull up 3, Hamoda, and backroom no good. And quick shot, but Richie, we're 72-54 here. As take a look at this turn and fade.
Najee Smith just got springs for legs. He's had some good games. You talked about the Nevada games, a tough loss for Boise State.
Yep.
Down the stretch, but he had 20 points in that game. 5 boards to go along with it. And they always talk about how Najee Smith, he's wearing number 30 for Boise State, how he plays and carries himself with just a lot of joy. He's overcome a lot in his life. And he just comes out here and just loves to play the game, loves to play for Leon Rice and the Boise State Broncos in front of this great crowd.
Here's a post up by Abo, and he loses the ball. Rice tries to save it back to Abo. Abo has a 3, and he riles it in. And it's just been that kind of night for Boise State. Even when it goes wrong, it still goes right. Ashworth playing with the basketball and just misses a layup. Microcosm of the game for Utah State. Just not their night. That may be what it comes down to. Boise State with their largest lead of the game, up 21 points with 3:47 to go. And if you're both coaches here, you may want to think about getting reserves into the game, as we have a little bit of a kerfluffle here.
A lot of emotions in here.
A little bit of
now Boise
many
State
teams come together. We'll be right back.
To stop what you're doing and listen.
So right before the break there was a little bit of a coming together of both of those teams. Take a look at what happened here. As Abo just talking, and Funk didn't like something he said and had something to say back to him. And apparently,
just emotions.
Yeah, this trended from a couple of plays ago when Abo apparently hit the three in Funk's face. He held up a three in his face, as to say, let him know he knocked it down right in front of him. So both of those players, it appears, are going to be assessed double technicals.
So they're going to go back to the point of interruption to inbound the basketball, I believe.
And Richie, that's one of those things where Utah State, they're getting beat down pretty bad. And when you're not playing the way that you know you're capable of playing, and when things are just simply not going right, when you have balls bounce in the wrong direction to you, even on the plays where you are out hustling, that can happen here as you start getting irritated by some of the little things that in a normal game just rub off your shoulder. And I think that was what was happening there with Jake Funk. One team celebrating a little bit too much for the other team's liking. And I guarantee you, they'll remember this back in Logan.
Yeah, they'll be going back there soon. Hey, Coach Ryan Odom in the huddle here. He's an outstanding basketball coach. And when that scuffle was happening or whatever was going on there, he ran over there and told his players to get out of the huddle and get to the bench. Now he calms them down. He has time to talk over everything. This is an opportunity to teach his players how to deal with this when there's this kind of adversity. They haven't been in a game like this all year. They've won 13 of their 15 games. The 2 losses were a combined 6 points. They haven't been in this position. So this is a learning game for Utah State. They're going to make the last stance at trying to come back and win this basketball game. They're going to fight and claw to the end, but they're going to do it with class. And that's how Utah State's teams have always been under every coach I've ever seen, but certainly under Coach Ryan Odom. We're going to see Boise State's going to do everything they can to close this thing out, and Abo's getting an explanation from the official as to why he got a technical foul. So everybody learns.
Yeah.
These are young men.
Yeah, they're just going to assess those 2 with technical fouls, and because in college basketball, technical fouls are counted as personal fouls, he's going to be paying for that scuffle, and he'll have to go to the bench. He's fouled out of the game. For Utah State, to state the obvious, things looking bleak. 75-54. You wonder when the white flags are going to be raised by Ryan Odom. Odom in his 2nd season coaching this team is 31-18 overall as head coach of Utah State, but he's going to have another L in his column tonight as Rice fires for Degenhardt. And now, if you're Boise State, you just want to use some clock here as Shaver goes one-on-one, using the off arm to clear out, and that's probably going to go on Ashworth, even though Shaver was using that chicken wing. That's his 3rd.
So not a shooting foul.
Nope.
It's only 3 fouls, I think. Yeah, 3 fouls on
Remember
Utah
the
State.
first half, Richie, where it was all those fouls and the refs were coming over explaining to us why there were so
23
many
fouls
fouls
together in the first half. Yeah, there's 9 in this half. 11, excuse me.
Here's Shaver trying to put the finishing touches. What a backdoor pass, and he gets on the trampoline. And explanation point. For Najee Smith.
I misspoke a moment ago. There's actually 6 fouls on Utah State.
And now we have an actual fight between Akin and Max Rice.
as they both were ready to get in each other's faces. And now the Boise State crowd is going to get themselves involved in this game.
And
let their voices be heard.
Yeah, Leon Rice not happy. He's talking to a couple of officials. He certainly wants safety. Everything should be about safety in this game. Obviously, this game is all but decided. We don't need anybody to get injured. Nothing silly to happen. Nobody needs to get suspended. Watch what happens here. There's a screen there. Okay, so Max Rice is coming off defensively off an Aachen screen. And there's a little bit of offense taken, it appears. We'd have to watch that a few more times over to get a better feel. But again, just a lot of emotions.
Yes,
right now.
that again, little things. He's trying to fight his way through the screen, a little bit of extra hands, and both players trying to stand their ground.
So this is at least the third time that I've seen Dan Aachen show some emotion. The first half we saw it, now twice here in the second half.
Referee's explaining.
Okay, we heard it there.
Yep.
Technical foul.
So
Technical fouls have been issued on Max Rice. That will be his third.
Max Rice is going to get a technical foul. And then I believe there was a double foul called on the two players that came together. And one of those players, Aachen. So referees will sort all of this out. Crowd was cheering as if Aachen got thrown out of the game. I think they were a little ahead of themselves.
Aachen is a very emotional player.
Yeah. So they'll remain. Both players will remain on the floor. They did not give them technical fouls. Interesting. Shoga. Back for Funk. That's his range. He fires and he hits.
He's got some serious range.
Yep.
He can shoot it really deep. You're down 20. At some point, Utah State's going to have to pick up full court pressure to have any chance of turning the ball over. So right now, Boise State's going to dribble the clock out. So if you truly want to try to make a comeback, you got to apply some pressure, force some turnovers, because the clock is just ticking away right now.
These two teams do not like each other. Here's Shaver, pull-up three. Nearly put the icing on the cake for that one, and now they're just going to boo him every time they come down the floor. Oh, here's Funk losing the basketball. Crowd's enjoying that. Gets it to Aachen, another player they don't like right now.
Boom every time he touches the ball.
Funk, they wanted to travel on Funk. They just want anything. Oh, Shoga, nice jab step move. Down for Aachen, and offensive foul on Shoga. It's gone from bad to ugly here for Utah State. And really now, if you're head coach,
it's a great take. Nope.
Odom, you really have to think about this game's over. Get your reserves in there. We don't need any more extracurricular activity. It's a 20-point game, 217. I've seen some crazy comebacks recently, but none will be as crazy as that. Boise State trying to just dribble the clock out of here. 2 minutes left. Smith, 30 feet away from the basket, gets it to Shaver. Does Shaver have one more in his bag? Shaver for Rice. Rice is wide open. Goes right by the defender. He's blocked from behind. Great play by Shoulder. He's still fighting toward the bitter end. 3-on-1 fast break. And here is Barstow on a slam dunk. And Ashworth tried to draw a foul. Shaver's been using that off arm, and Utah State's going to be mad because Shaver's been using that off arm, and then Aachen is going to be drawn for the foul. And we're going to have a look here at just exactly how bad Utah State has shot the basketball as Aachen goes to the bench. And there it is, as you see on the screen.
Well, look how Utah State all season long, 43% from three today, 33%. They were 10% at halftime. Effective field goal percentage is way down. Their three-pointers not knocking down as many as they typically do. And you could see it. Shots weren't knocking down. the bench points. You know, 2 of their best scorers come off the bench tonight. Just a struggle all the way around. But look, Ryan Odom, this is just a one-off. This is not going to happen the rest of the season. Boise State completely controlled them from the beginning. They did it with defense. And Ryan Odom's squad just had a hard time knocking down open looks. I'm pretty confident when these 2 teams play in Logan, the lid's going to come off that arena too. Student section, the herd, they're going to be all over it.
Shaver leaves the game. 10 points, 2 of 7 from the floor, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Funk. Last gasp from Bairstow, who shoots and fires and can't hit. Degenhart on the rebound, and with that rebound, he's got a double-double. 19 and 10. Degenhart has been the best player on the floor for both teams all night long, as he gets the crowd into it, and they most certainly are. They're on their feet. Rice is going to go one-on-one. Fires it out for Whiting. Steps in. Rice, a 3.
Everything going right for Leon Rice's squad.
(82-59) here. And that one right there. There have been a series of exclamation points here thrown by Boise State. And with the clock winding down, look at this.
Look at Max Rice. This beautiful kick out by Whiting.
Wide open, holds the hand up, and signals to the crowd that this is what I do. Do you not know my name?
He's been on the squad 5 years. He's been going to games in this arena for 13 when his father took over the team. And Boise State is playing the best offensive team in the Mountain West. Averages 83 points per game, but they hold teams to 59. And look what they've held Utah State to. Fantastic, dynamic, gritty defense by Boise State.
Boise State is going to improve to 12-4 after this, and they're going to drop Utah State to 13-3 overall. They're going to hand Utah State its first conference loss, and they are both going to be tied at 2-1 in the conference. And as we mentioned, this is a huge win for Boise State. I mean, they didn't just win, they dominated. As Funk goes to the basket and misses that one. Rebound off the backboard.
Just going to pull this out.
Yep, no more shots.
That's right, pull this out. How about this game?
That'll do it. Boise State, domination in convincing fashion. They knock off the pesky Utah State Aggies. They controlled this game from start to finish, and Tyson Degenhart, player of the game, 19 points, 10 rebounds. He was all over the place, Richie.
Fantastic performance by Boise State, not just on the offensive end, but the defense. What a game. Boise State trying to defend their championship title.
That's it here from Boise. Tonight's final score, 82-59. Coming up next, Big East Hoops. Butler takes on Seton Hall. For Richie Schuler, I'm Derek Clark. You've been watching College Hoops on FS1.